So g'day folks, welcome to another PTP fishing, and yes, I'm on holidays, and yes, you saw it right, this is the first for the PTP fishing. I'm going to do a catch and cook. So I'm here at Port Vincent, South Australia. I've come here an awful lot, and one of the things I love about coming here is if you really want to go and have a feed, you can actually do it from the shore, so you can be land-based. So the idea behind this is to show you how simple or how difficult it could be. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the first catch and cook on PTP fishing, and welcome to Port Vincent. Let's see how we go. Okay, I guess the beauty of the fish component of this video is I really only need one good bite. So I really only need one fish. So the target species here this morning, pretty much flathead, brim, Tommy rough. Have caught some other odd bods in here before, but they're most probably the three, preferably a flathead. And as I said, really only need one good bite, so we can only hope that comes sooner rather than later. Yep, there's a fish. Hey, that's a target species. As silly as it sounds, in South Australia, that is a legal fish. I will try him on the measure, but they've only got to be 30 centimetres here in South Australia, so that fish there would easily be 30 centimetres. So there is the fish for my Port Vincent fish or fisherman's basket. Pretty stoked with that. Nice to get one out of the way early. We'll try and catch one more, just because I am pretty much relying on myself catching a few fish and a few other odds and ends so that I've got something to eat. Not that there isn't other stuff at Port Vincent, but fresh fish is one of the appeals of coming here. So I might pick one more up if I can. The fish there was 33 centimetres, so not a huge fish, but as I said, they've only got to be 30 here in South Australia, so exactly what I needed. He smashed it too, which is even better. Go. Hey, I think this is a flathead though. Well, there you go. That's big Tommy, I think. Huge Tommy, if that's a Tommy. Might be a salmon. Very cool. That's a little Australian salmon by the look of it, or a salmon trout as they call them here. You know, that's a tool capture. Oh, God, that must be stacked up under that pontoon over there. This is how a very quiet hour or so can become an awful lot of fun. Or you can just jump off, so gotta let him go anyway. No, doesn't want to come off. Oh, there he is. See you later, mate. Let's see if there's any more over there. Oh, got something. That feels more like a flathead this time. No, another salmon. Now I'm having some fun. Anyway, oh, and this wind's picking up, so wouldn't mind getting one more of those to the shore. And then with the wind picking up, I think I'm going to chase these squid, because gotcha. Come on. So if I wasn't doing this catch and cook, I'd play around with these guys for a little while, because they're just, as you can see, just so much fun. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. Time to go and catch some squid. That's a slightly better one. So it's fishing in its simplest form, this. If there's ever a species that was designed to be caught on a plastic or a lure, it'd be these guys. When they're hungry, they just eat. They fight well. They teach you all the basics. If they ate a little better, it'd be nice, but that's okay. Can't have everything, can you? Or maybe you can. Right. Thank you. It's a fine line between being on the bottom and hopping your jig just off the bottom. Obviously, just off the bottom being ideal. I'll say there's still a bit of colour in the water here, so possibly the squidding is going to be tough. Got one. Hey, there's a squid. Oh, and I've got him on one tentacle. Two tentacles, so he's two candles. Okay, so one thing with squid, you got to keep the pressure on it. And land base, land base, this is going to be very, very interesting. Oh, and that's what happens. But that's quite a nice squid. Yuck. So there's part 2 of my Port Vincent's Fisherman's basket. There's that jig. Now there was one other squid with this guy, so hopefully I can go and catch him, but wanted to show you this. I've got to clean myself up. This guy spurted me as I was lifting him in. Yeah, I thought that was going to be the hardest part of today because the water was pretty dirty last night. But I'm on the board, squid number 1 for the session, and my Port Vincent Fisherman's basket's looking pretty good. Now, I did see another squid with this guy. He was only just there, so generally they do hunt in packs. It's not often you get single squid. They sort of seem to be in, well, sometimes really big groups, but I'm stoked. Honestly wasn't sure. I've most probably been doing this for 20 minutes. That's the first one I've seen. In reality, a squid that size, that's all I need, but one more would be nice. Let's throw him back out where I got that last one. Give it a bit of a chance to get to the bottom. Oh, my lovely white shirt is no longer white. So I don't often get the opportunity to go squidding, but and so whether you would take any notice of my technique, I don't know, but basically from the shore it's as far as I can throw it. Let it sink, you sort of count 3, 4, 5, and I do quite exaggerated hops. But what I then do is wind up the slack, and then I've got this little constant slow roll, and then a couple of big hops, because basically sometimes the squid will grab it as it's dropping, so you want to be able to feel that. And then from there I'm basically hopping it back. If you feel anything different, you set the hook, and it's not a pump and wind with a squid. It's just a steady retrieve, keeping the line tight because there's no barbs on those tines. So all you're trying to do is keep the line tight. And when you get to the shore, you're keeping an eye behind the squid because sometimes the squid will follow. If they do follow, you just drop it back to them, and most of the time they'll eat it. Oh, that's a squid. Wow. Oh, yeah. So that was just weight. I don't think he's huge, but this one's definitely hooked much, much better than the previous one. The previous one only had those 2 candles. This one's hooked on top of the head, which is exactly where you want to hook them. But again, just being a little bit careful. And you're mine. Yes. Check him out. Nowhere near as big as the first one, but it's going to be just as tasty. Very, very cool. So I have everything I need now as far as calamari is concerned. So just to give you an idea, so the blue swimmer crab raking and the razor fish that I've got as the other 2 items on this fisherman's basket here at Port Vincent, when the tide goes out a little later, it's this zone here. So you can see that sandy patch with weed either side. The crabs are in there, and then the razor fish are in the weedy bits. So I'll be doing that a little later on today. But for now, I need some breakfast. So I'm going to stop throwing this thing around, wait for this tide to go out, and in the meantime have some breakfast. And maybe have a little kip, because I am on holidays, of course. Okay, so the second half of the collection of the Port Vincent Fisherman's Basket is obviously the blue swimmer crabs and the razor fish. So as you can see, I was standing over there a little earlier on and said this is the white patch that I'll be getting the crabs out of. Excuse the wind noise, but that's basically what I'm going to be going to do. So I'm going to walk out there, rake for the crabs, and then the razor fish are in a very similar area. So let's get to that. I do apologise for the wind noise, but there's not too much I can do about that at this point. Okay, so one of the things you look for when you're raking for the crabs is some disturbed bottom or soil. So give it a bit of a scrape. Nothing there, but that's what I'm looking for. a laugh. So one of the things that shows where the crabs are is where there's a bit of darker soil. So I scratched on the darker soil, and hopefully the camera will pick it up, but that's a little shovel-nosed shark there. So needless to say, it's not a crab, but very cool, isn't it? Another one of them. Wow. There's a different ray again. Am I allowed to have a couple of crabs? Okay, let's get a crab. So ideally, I think you'd like the tide to be a little lower than this. I'd certainly be able to see a little bit more, but I don't think the tide's going to drop too much more than it is at the moment. Not great tides for any of this today. Certainly lucked in with the squid and the fish, so hopefully we can do that with the crabs as well. Freak. Yeah, just trod on the crab. There he is, look. Oh, yeah, come here. Oh, who needs a rake? So what I need to do is measure this guy. So there we go, but I need him to flip over, so you come out of there. Come on. Okay. Come on. Let go. Come on. Come on. We'll give him a quick measure while he's like that. And he's easily legal, that one, so I may not have raked him, but I trod on him. Anyway. There's one of two that I need. Oh, there's a crab. Oh, please be another male. Oh, and it is. Don't think that one's going to be big enough though. Okay, blue crab. So. Yeah, I know you want to bite me. I don't want you to bite me though. Come on. So it's from inside of there. Look at that, he's legal. So there's my two crabs that I need for my Port Vincent Fisherman's basket. And I want one more. Oh, bloody rays. Here I keep thinking that there's bloody crabs and it's a ray. Don't know what that's all about, but anyway. Oh, there's a crab. Come on. Yeah. Oh, not one, there's two. Oh wow, well that one's definitely legal. Alright, I definitely don't need any more after that, do I? I don't think that one's going to be legal, mate. That one's not legal. Let go. So that was the non-legal of the two. Pop him back in the water. Catch you when you're about 4 mils bigger. Okay, so I've just come up into the shallower water. The razor fish are going to be a little bit hard to find, but I'm not going to take many because the reality of it is where they are here, you know, you get much bigger ones elsewhere. But so that's a razor fish. If I can find them, I'm going to get maybe another 2 or 3. The beauty of these guys is there's a little muscle that opens and closes the shell. That's what you eat, but the rest of it's fantastic burley for whiting, fishing, ground bait, etc, etc. So nothing goes to waste, but it's only a very small little muscle in the middle there that's edible. So but that's what a razor fish is. Cool little thing, and that's going to be part of my dinner. So I am trying to pick the bigger ones, but like I said, in this shallow water they tend not to be overly big. But that one's not too bad. Yeah, number 2, another couple like that, and I've got what I need. There you go. That's one of the reasons I wear gloves, because they're actually quite sharp. There you go. So there's lucky last. Looks like it's quite a big one as well. Certainly buried in there. There we go. That's actually quite a big one for this shallow water. There we go, I'm done. Next time you see me, we'll be putting all of this together and cooking it for you. So I'm not much of a chef, but in the end, or not much of a cook, whatever you want to call it, but the one thing I did learn back in the day when I was working in hospitality is preparation is the key. So what I've done is clean the fish, clean the squid, clean the razor fish. So those things there, that's all that's left of the razor fish. Hence why I didn't take very many, but I just wanted to show you what they're about. I've made my breadcrumb because I'm going to crumb all of these things. I've got the crabs in the fridge. They're cooling down and going to sleep so that I can boil those up. I've got water on the stove over there that's already boiling. And I've got my eggs ready to go to crumb these guys here. So for me, it's pretty simple. The breadcrumb mix is a mix of normal breadcrumbs, panko crumbs, sesame seeds, herb and garlic salt, and a little bit of turmeric. And the turmeric, A, is very good for you, and B, just makes them nice and golden brown and everything else. Cleaning all that stuff, I'm not going to take you through all of that. With the crabs, I boil them for about 7 to 8 minutes. I put them into an ice slurry in salt water, and obviously I cook them in the water that they've come out of. So I've gone and got a bucket of water from the ocean, and that's what I cook them in. So that's the key to it all. That's what I'm going to do. I'll show you snippets of bits and pieces as we go through, and then hopefully the end result. But for me, the key to it all is keep it as simple as possible, and the end result will be the Port Vincent Fisherman's basket. So that's the end result of them being crumbed. Time to start cooking. Okay, so these guys have been in the fridge, so as you can see, they've gone to sleep. Just pop them into the boiling water. Popped a couple of claws in there as well. And those other two for tomorrow. And you just pop the lid on. And basically it's 8 minutes from once it starts a rolling boil again. So 8 minutes. Looking good. Okay, so they've been in there for their 8 minutes. One of the other ways you can tell they're cooked is they start to float. Anyway, we will turn that off. I'll pop these guys into an ice slurry. So put that over in here. So that's ocean water with the 2 ice things in it. I'll pop those out just for a second so I can show you. So that water is really, really nice and cold. It stops the cooking process. Stops the crabs from cooking any further, firms the flesh up nicely, and obviously all that salty goodness that they've just been cooked in doesn't get washed away as well. Okay, so I've just finished cleaning the crab, so this won't take very long. So what I'm going to do is the fish and the razor fish will go in first. Just pop them in there and I'll try and separate them. I'm going to put those in after this. So there's my fish. Goes in there like that. To sizzle away. And then the last minute I'll just grab those 4 little razor fish and pop those in as well because they won't take very long to cook. Okay. They're ready to go in now as well. Well, looking good. I'm getting hungry. Alright, so they're going to be just about ready. Lovely golden brown. That's the beauty of the turmeric. It does that quite quickly. They're only small, but that should be tasty. A little flathead as the fish. There's my little razor fish pieces. They're going to be tasty little morsels. Now, with the calamari, that can just go in. Now, this isn't all of the calamari. What I am going to do is close the lid because calamari tends to spit when you cook. So you're not going to be able to see much, but you'll see it at the end. Okay, so there's been a lot of spitting and carrying on, but that shouldn't need too much longer. So we'll just lift that up out of there. Lift that up. Oh, and there's our calamari ready to go. So there you have it. The Port Vincent Fisherman's basket. So flathead, calamari, blue swimmer crab, and razor fish. And there's a token green salad with a few baby tomatoes. So time to tuck in. So what an absolute feast. So all caught today. Most probably took me maybe an hour and 3/4 to put it all together, as far as catching it and everything else, cleaning it, preparation, the cooking. They're my favourite little things, the little razor fish. It's just a shame that that's all you get from such a big thing, but they're super tasty. The calamari is really, really good. Super good, nice and crunchy. Just all round winner. So I hope you've enjoyed my first catch and cook video. I don't know whether there'll be any more, but there's a lot of that goes on behind the camera, putting it all together, but I've had a fantastic day. I'm going to enjoy the spoils of my efforts. If you have liked it, leave a comment, let me know. Certainly if you've got this far, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time from PTP Fishing. Life's tough when you've got to have fresh seafood for dinner. See ya.